remember, was the official who met with Terry McAuliffe. Terry McAuliffe is the governor of Virginia. Terry McAuliffe associated organizations and PACs and affiliated ideological partners donate $700,000 to McCabe's wife, who's running as a Democrat for a state Senate seat in Virginia, as McCabe then takes the lead on the Clinton investigation. Clinton and a known ideological ally and friend to Terry McAuliffe. Amazing how that happens. March 11, 2016. The Russian operative that has been the FBI has been targeting using Carter Page, Joe, as a source. Buryakov pleads guilty. Carter Page was known to the FBI at this time. Remember, folks, what I'm trying to point out here. The Obama team spied on the Trump team, and all of these people, Page, Manafort, Milian, Agalarov, I'll get to them later, Downer, all of these people who have some affiliation with the FBI, law enforcement, or being investigated by people with the DNC, all of these people now will come into the Trump orbit. Crazy how that happens. March 25th, 2016. Politico reports that Alexandra Chalupa, Ukrainian-American, investigating Paul Manafort, who, by the way, is not associated with the Trump team yet, is investigating Manafort's ties to Ukraine now that the Russian reset has collapsed and the Russians have invaded Ukraine, despite our efforts to appease them from Uranium One and other deals. Politico reports that Chalupa meets with the Ukrainians at the embassy to expose ties to Russia with Manafort. The Ukrainian embassy then proceeds to work, quote, directly with reporters on this. Keep in mind, Chalupa is a former Clinton official working at the DNC. She's all over Manafort at this point. All right. March 29th, 2016. Trump hires Manafort. Whoa! That's crazy. How did that happen? My gosh. There's people just appear in the orbit, Joe. But Joe, watch this. Just like that. Oh. Amazing how this happens. Trump hires Manafort, March 29, 2016. Manafort jumps on the Trump campaign, right? It's also fascinating. This is according to news reports. Remember, all of these people in the orbit of the FBI being investigated by Clinton consigliaries, Clinton people, the DNC, Chalupa, the people associated with Fusion GPS, people associated with Christopher Steele, magically appear in the Trump orbit. Crazy how that happens, right? Right around that time, Sergei Milian is alleged to have approached George Papadopoulos. Right around the same time, Trump hires Manafort. Why is Milian approaching Papadopoulos important? Milian is another figure that is rather fascinating because Sergei Milian is alleged, according to multiple media reports, to have been the source of the Trump golden shower story that appears in the dossier. The disgusting, of course, false story about Trump's so-called escapades, let's call them, that was false. Mm-hmm. That story is alleged to have come from Milian. But right around this time, in March of 2016, Milian approaches George Papadopoulos, who is now associated with the Trump team, and begins this, friendship with him? Wow. Again, crazy how that happens. Now, did somebody suggest Paul Manafort to the Trump team? Don't know, because what's fascinating, Joe, is Trump hires Manafort on March 29th, despite the fact that the DNC, through Alexandra Chalupa, a Clinton official, has been looking into him for a long time now. The next day, the same person looking into Manafort, Alexandra Chalupa, briefs the DNC on Russia, Trump, Manafort, and Politico reports an investigation with the Hillary team begins. In conjunction, by the way, with the media. Wow! Crazy! March 29th, Trump hires Manafort. The next day, the same people who've been looking into Manafort forever have this investigation with the Hillary team while they're working with the media to get the stories out there about Manafort. Who suggested Manafort?
Drop the chalupa.
Dude, I'm telling you, I've broken up these shows from 628 on, but I've never walked people through the entire timeline. All right. April 2016, there's a second breach into the DNC. It's fascinating. It's right around this time as well. Perkins Coie, which is a law firm which has received money for Organizing for America, which was Barack Obama's, previously Obama for America. It's the remnants of his campaign arm. He doesn't need it anymore. Why? Because he can't run for president again.
Right.
So it becomes Organizing for America. They paid this law firm $700,000. The Clinton team also pays this law firm a substantial sum of money, and this law firm then subsequently hires Fusion GPS right around the same time, April 2016, after this second DNC breach, to begin investigating Trump and Trump Russia. May I suggest to you that after these breaches, that they may have been inside jobs? We have around the same time a scandal that's yet to be uncovered. I'll get to that a little later. The House IT scandal about the Awan brothers, the Pakistani brothers, who were given access to certain DNC files and DNC computers. May I suggest to you that it's possible, just possible, that the DNC needs an excuse? And right around April of 2016, Perkins Coie, being paid by Organizing for America, the former Obama campaign arm, and the Clinton team, conveniently hires Fusion GPS, which starts looking for information later on about Russians and Trump because they need a narrative that the Russians hacked the election. Is it possible? Just possible. April 2016. Chalupa, Alexandra Chalupa, same Ukrainian-American operator at the DNC, starts working with Michael Isikoff of Yahoo News. Wow, where did that name come up again? Michael Isikoff of Yahoo News, the same reporter whose information is used in the dossier. They cite Michael Isikoff's reporting to back up their claims in the dossier. The problem is, where did Isikoff get his information from? The exact same source as the other information in the dossier they're trying to back up. In other words, Christopher Steele gave the FBI the information they put in the dossier to say, hey, we want to spy on Trump because look what we have. Oh, and by the way, the media wrote a story on it too. The media got the story from Steele. It was the same information twice. It was Isikoff's story in Yahoo News. Isikoff's already dealing with Steele during the application for the dossier. Make sense, Joe?
Yep.
Conveniently, he's working with Chalupa. It starts around April 2016. April 10th, 2016. Obama claims in an interview that Clinton's email, she didn't intend to harm national security with her email thing. Basically, Joe, this is what I'm doing. Wink and a nod. You see what I'm doing here? You got that? Wink and a nod. Obama in an interview to the FBI, in an interview, kind of winks and nods to the FBI and DOJ and says, hey, Hillary didn't intend to harm national security with this email scandal. The FBI begins the exoneration process at this point with where they start to put together a public statement, and the public statement is going to change multiple times. April 26, 2016. Crazy how this happens. Michael Isikoff, Joe, publishes a story about Paul Manafort and Russia. You see how the Russia story's already starting. Russia. Why? Why is it starting? It's starting because the Obama administration has multiple layers of scandal to cover up. Whether it was their debacle in Benghazi, Uranium One, they start to realize Trump could possibly win. They need to develop a backstory. The backstory is starting very, very early. All right. You know what, folks? Let me just knock these out here, too. Let me continue. I'll continue in a second here. Today's show also brought to you by our buddies at Filter By. Big fans of Filter By. They've been with us for a while. Hey, there's a lot of people out there who scream and yell on social media about the environment. That's true. I get a lot of that. They scream and yell about how the industry's polluting the air and destroying the planet. I'll bet most of them haven't changed their home air filter since it was installed, though. I know I had. Mine was black, and it was not a charcoal one. It was supposed to be white, but it was black when I pulled it out. It's a simple thing, can make a huge difference in the air you breathe at home. Visit my friends at Filter By, America's leading provider of HVAC filters for homes and small businesses. This is a great company, and thank you to everyone who supports our sponsors. They carry over 600 different filter sizes, including custom options, all ship free within 24 hours, manufactured right here in the great old USA. It's a great company. Love these guys. Filter By offers a multitude of MERV options all the way up to hospital grade, so you'll be removing dangerous pollen, mold, dust, and other allergy-aggravating pollution while maximizing the efficiency of your system. Right now, save 5% when you set up auto delivery, and you'll never need to think about air filters again. Save money, save time. Take care of your HVAC system. Take care of your lungs. Breathe better with filterby.com. That's filterbuy.com. Filterby.com. Thanks for supporting the show, and thanks for supporting our sponsors. Okay, so April. We're in April 2016. April 28th, 2016. Chalupa, who again is just so we keep the 30,000-foot view, the Obama team needs to spy on the Trump team, okay? They need information. The Hillary team needs to spy on the Trump team. Chalupa is working at the DNC in a case against Manafort. All of a sudden, Manafort appears in the Trump orbit. Chalupa continues her investigation into Manafort and now investigations into Trump and Russia and other facets of his relationship with Manafort and by default the relationship with Russia and Ukraine as well. April 28, 2016, Chalupa meets with Ukrainian journalists at the Library of Congress. Who goes with Chalupa? Oh, Michael Isakov, who goes to a Ukrainian embassy reception and later with her. Isakov, the same reporter for Yahoo News, who is cited in the dossier as an evidentiary source for backup to spy on Carter Page of the Trump team, who had been working with the FBI prior on a case to prosecute someone associated with Russian spies, a man named Buryakov. Amazing, folks. Amazing how all of these people in the law enforcement under the Obama era, under the law enforcement orbit, or under the eye of people like Chalupa, keep appearing in the Trump orbit. Just crazy how that happens.
It's kismet.
Good point, buddy. Okay, May 4th, 2016. Trump gets the GOP nod as the GOP representative for the party in the presidential election. Fascinating here. Pay attention to this.
Yeah.
Right around this time, George Papadopoulos, who, by the way, was already approached by Sergei Milian, who's alleged to have been the source of the disgusting Trump golden shower story that makes it back to Fusion GPS, who's working for Hillary. Follow where I'm going with this. Do not neglect to pay close attention here. This is important. Right around May, when Trump gets the nod, May 4th of 2016, incredibly, at the same time, Papadopoulos is in a London bar where he meets with a man named Alexander Downer. Alexander Downer is an Australian diplomat who is associated with the Clintons. As a matter of fact, according to Mark Tapscott at LifeZet, Downer is part of an investigation into some Australian government funds that made it to the Clinton Foundation that may have made it there allegedly under false pretenses. Downer knows the Clintons well. Right after Trump gets the nod, Downer appears in a London bar with Georgie Papa D. Georgie Papa D, a backbencher Trump affiliate. Maybe Papa D was a target for multiple people. Amazing how Milian meets with him. All of a sudden, Milian's telling a golden shower story, according to a lot of press reports, to people involved with the dossier. Downer meets with Papadopoulos. They say just months later, Papadopoulos and the Downer meeting, Downer contacts American intelligence officials and a major counterintelligence investigation is opened up into the Trump team. Wow, crazy. They meet in a London bar. Joe, conveniently, from CNN, here's a report. British and other intelligence officials British and other European intelligence agencies intercepted communications between associates of Donald Trump and Russian officials and other Russian individuals during the campaign and pass those on to communications to other U.S. counterparts, U.S. congressional and law enforcement, and U.S. and European intelligence sources, tell CNN. Crazy how they met in that London bar. Yeah. Crazy how that happens. You can't make it up. Okay. Conveniently, right around this time, also, Mike Rogers, head of the NSA, is starting to grow very suspicious about some queries into the NSA database. Basically grabbing information the NSA has acquired on emails, texts, subjects, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Rogers starts to grow suspicious. Incredibly, he grows very suspicious around, quote, Joe, mid-2016, according to Cheryl Atkinson's timeline. Right around the time Trump gets a GOP nod? Crazy how that happens. Just crazy. This is like Looney Tunes. Oh, boy, folks. It was also interesting on this. Again, the NSA, just want you to note, if you missed it prior, the NSA at this time is starting to get some inquiries internally from compliance officers about the expanded use of their database, which jumps from 9,000 inquiries to 30,000 inquiries in 2016.